All right, let's talk about an ancient, golden-colored compound that's making some serious waves today, berberine. The big question we're diving into is this: could it actually be nature's metabolic master switch? Let's find out.
You know that feeling, right? That crazy cycle of energy spikes, followed by those awful crashes that leave you feeling totally wiped out? It's that daily struggle for stable energy, and it can really feel like you're stuck on a ride you just can't get off.
But what if the answer, the key to getting off that roller coaster, wasn't some fancy new discovery, but a piece of wisdom that's been around for over 3,000 years? We're going to see how an ancient remedy is now being understood in a whole new light, thanks to modern science.
To really get why the solution is so cool, we have to talk about the problem first. For so many of us, daily life has turned into this metabolic maze. It's just full of confusing signals and frustrating dead ends.
And this isn't just some vague feeling, is it? It's that real, constant exhaustion, even when you think you've had enough sleep. It's that brutal afternoon energy slump that has you scrambling for coffee or a snack. And oh man, those intense sugar cravings that feel almost impossible to fight. It all just adds up to this feeling of lost vitality, like your body isn't firing on all cylinders anymore.
Okay, so with that modern struggle fresh in our minds, let's travel back in time. We're going to look at an ancient, golden-hued answer that science is finally starting to catch up to.
So what even is berberine? Well, scientifically, it's called a bioactive alkaloid. All that really means is it's a powerful natural compound made by plants. It's pulled from the roots and bark of a few different plants, but the most famous one is the Indian barberry. In Ayurvedic medicine, this plant is called daruharidra, which kind of means turmeric of the tree, all because of that bright, unmistakable yellow color.
And its history? It's incredibly deep. I mean, we're talking about more than 3,000 years of continuous use in Ayurvedic tradition in India. It was also a total staple in traditional Chinese medicine, often used to help with digestion. And now, fast forward to today, it's finally being seen by modern science as what these ancient cultures knew all along, a true metabolic powerhouse.
And this is where it gets really cool, where you see two worlds just perfectly meet. On one side, you have the Ayurvedic view. They understood berberine through its properties. It's a bitter herb that helps cleanse and balance your system. On the other side, you've got modern science, which can see its exact molecular structure and how it directly interacts with our cells. It's the perfect bridge between ancient observation and modern proof.
So, how does it actually work? This is where things get really fascinating. We're going to look at how berberine can, quite literally, flip a switch inside your body's cells.
Okay, so picture this. Deep inside almost every single one of your cells, there's this little enzyme that acts like a metabolic master switch. Its official name is AMPK, and it basically controls how your body makes and uses energy. Getting this switch to turn on at the right time is absolutely key to finding that metabolic balance.
So here's the play-by-play. First, berberine gets into your bloodstream and makes its way into your cells. Once it's inside, it activates that master switch, AMPK. Now you can think of AMPK as your body's low fuel sensor. It's the same switch that gets flipped when you exercise or fast. And once berberine turns it on, two huge things happen. It tells your cells to start pulling more sugar out of your blood to use for energy right away, and it signals your liver to slow down on making new sugar. It's this powerful one-two punch for restoring balance.
Okay, so we've seen the mechanism, the how. But what does that actually do? What's the real outcome here? Well, it all comes down to restoring your body's natural, healthy balance.
At its heart, what this is all about is improving what's called insulin sensitivity. Think of insulin like a key. It's supposed to unlock your cells to let sugar in for energy. But sometimes your cells start to ignore that key. That's insulin resistance, and that's where the problems start. Berberine essentially helps your cells hear that knock on the door again, restoring that crucial conversation. And what's so wild is that this brings us right back to that ancient wisdom, the Ayurvedic concept of prameya, which was their term for metabolic disorders, lines up perfectly with what we now call insulin resistance. And the practice of lekana, which literally means scraping away toxins, mirrors what we see berberine doing, helping clear out excess fats and glucose from the system. It's the same idea, just with new words.
So what does all this feel like in the real world? Well, when your blood sugar is finally off that crazy roller coaster, those intense cravings for sugar just naturally start to fade. That leads to a much more stable mood and way better focus. And when your body is using energy more efficiently, it gives you a huge leg up in managing a healthy weight.
Plus, new research is even showing it might help out your gut microbiome too.
Now this all sounds pretty amazing, I know, but this isn't just based on ancient texts or old traditions. Let's see how this ancient lore actually holds up in a modern laboratory.
Let's talk about the year 2008. This was a huge turning point. It was the year a landmark clinical trial was published that really put berberine on the map for the entire Western scientific community. The study, which was published in the major journal Metabolism, came to a pretty stunning conclusion. The researchers found that berberine's effects on key metabolic markers were, and I quote, comparable to some commonly prescribed metabolic medications. I mean, wow, that was a massive piece of clinical proof for what traditional medicine had been saying for centuries.
And that's really the heart of the story here. Berberine isn't just an ancient herb, and it isn't just a modern supplement. It's a bridge. It connects 3,000 years of traditional, hands-on use with rigorous, modern clinical proof.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating thought to end on. If the wisdom of berberine was just sitting there, waiting all this time to be decoded by modern science, how many other ancient remedies are out there right now, just waiting for their own modern explanation? It's a pretty compelling question about all the knowledge that might be hidden in our oldest traditions.